Okay, so this first one, what we're going to do is everyone needs to try to guess what this is fan fiction of. And we're starting at chapter 10, so it's going to be confusing. There are little clues. This one's really good for this. So throw out your answers, but I can't see them, so someone's going to have to tell me when somebody guesses.
All right, I've got Twitch going here. I'll throw out guesses as they come.
Okay. So, this is called Demon Days, Chapter 10. Gwen. You're lying, I say, looking into Daddy's yellow eyes. I know you are. Tell me the truth. Daddy looks nervous, eyes flitting from the rabbit man and back to me. Are you sure? I nod. I'm sure. No more secrets, Daddy. Daddy kneels down, cupping my face in his hands. When we were trying to bring you back, I had to give up my demonic essence and give it to you. This means that I'm not a yokai anymore. But because your body took in that essence, you became a yokai. For a few seconds, I say nothing. Then, am I one of the bad yokai? Daddy scrunches up his face. Not exactly. The rabbit man steps forward. With the right training, you can master your powers and learn how to use them to protect people.
All right, Tracy, I don't have any guesses yet, but I have a question for you. Is this a single fandom or is this a crossover? Can you tell us that?
I only know one for certain.
Okay.
But it could be. It does not say it's a crossover in the description.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Okay. Will you help me? I ask. The man nods. Of course. Now that your daddy is mortal now, you can use your powers to protect him. I smile and hug the man's legs. Thanks, funny ear man. The man's face flushes red. My name is Tsuki no Usagi. I prefer funny ear man. Daddy laughs at my response. The man's eyes move over to him and he groans. I can see where you got your love for annoying nicknames from. I fold my arms. Fine, I'll give you a different nickname. Like what? I think for a moment. How about Bonnie? The man raises an eyebrow. Why that nickname? Because your ears remind me of a bunny's. They are very big. I can hear Daddy laughing, his laughter turning into snorts as he tries to hold it in. The man's face turns even redder, and he subconsciously reaches up to touch his ears.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have somebody said Tsuki no Usagi is a Sailor Moon reference, but nothing else seems to indicate that. Though Usagi Yojimbo is about a rabbit man, so that's what I was thinking. So I assume Usagi is Japanese for rabbit, but we have one possible guess for Sailor Moon.
Okay, interesting. It is not Sailor Moon, but once again, it's possible that it's some undivulged crossover.
Got it.
Okay. Daddy laughing. They are not that big! He squawks. I shrug my shoulders, but a smile plays at my lips. Whatever you say. This is delicious. I shovel spoonful after spoonful of soup into my mouth. It's been so long since I've last eaten soup. Then again, it's been so long since I've been awake. I guess that's what happens when you've been resurrected after a few years.
Oh, the text isn't scrolling or changing there. I think that's Tristan is in charge of that.
Yeah. Tristan? Hello?
There we go.
TK421, why aren't you at your post? Is it scrolling now?
Yeah.
Okay. Daddy smiles warmly at me. I'm glad you like it. I made your favorite kind. I set down my bowl and hug him, holding onto him tightly. Thank you, Daddy. I feel Daddy's warmth flowing through me as he hugs me to his chest. You're welcome, Gwen. I still can't believe that you're back. No wonder. Ever since I came back from the dead, though it felt like a really long nap to me, Daddy has never left my side. He always keeps a hand on my shoulder or grips my hands with his own, as if to make sure that I'm real and not an illusion. I missed you so much, my little Gwen. Daddy murmurs into my hair. A small smile spreads across my face. I missed you too, Daddy. That's the end of this chapter.
Is Gwen from Spider-Man?
I don't. No, it is not.
Okay, not Spider-Verse. All right. that was my one theory.
There's a movie called War of the Yokai, but that's not really. I highly doubt it's that.
The nickname that she gave him is the clue.
Oh, Mr. Funny Long Ears or whatever.
He didn't like that one, so she gave him a different nickname.
Oh,
Funny Ear Man.
It's Bonnie is the clue.
Oh, how about Bonnie? Bonnie the rabbit. Bonnie Rabbit. Okay, Bonnie Rabbit. That seems good.
Bonnie Lass.
I'm like Bonnie Bedelia, Bonnie Hunt. Is this cheaper by the dozen fanfic?
We got a Five Nights at Freddy's guess.
That's it. It's a Five Nights at Freddy alternate universe. Very confusing though, because I don't know who any of these characters are, and it appears to be an origin story for Bonnie.
I know nothing about FNAF except that stands for Five Nights at Freddy's. That was apparently a complete guess.
No, that's it.
Is there a character in Five Nights called Bonnie Rabbit? Is that it?
Bonnie the rabbit. But it's an animatronic rabbit. So right. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. All right. My next guess was going to be Winnie the Pooh. There's a rabbit in that.
What else is a rabbit? Brer Rabbit.
There we go. Probably some horribly racist things.
Okay, Tristan, are you ready now, or should I do another one?
We get no response.
Okay. I don't think he's ready, you guys.
He's like the great and mysterious Oz over there.
So,
hey.
Tristan, can you...
Hey. So I had my mic turned off so that I could have my speakers on so I could hear you without creating an echo. But I have misplaced the USB power adapter for my camera. So I might have to go faceless for this episode.
Okay. Well, can you bring up the next one, Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza?
Yes.
We're going to go with yeah. Okay. So this one is funny because it reads like a novelization of a video he watched of Markiplier playing Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
All right.
This is fine. This is totally fine. Jeremy yelps when he pulls up the monitor and sees the animatronic in one of the vents. Its creepy, childlike laugh seems to echo in his ears. This is not fine! This is the third time he's doing this tonight! Can't he give me a break or something? Jeremy flashes the hallway in front of him. Oh, sorry. I guess fear makes you do weird things. Luckily, there are no animatronics lurking in the shadows. There is one in Party Room 1, however. It stares at Jeremy with dead black eyes and dons a mouthful of small, flat teeth. Dons a mouthful of teeth. I'm going to use that to describe somebody to the cops. He donned a mouthful of small teeth.
You were flat.
I guess it's dentures, right? I mean, I guess that's the only way that works.
Jeremy shivers. Why does she keep taking out her eyes and Bill? It's just so Creepy. Then again, everything about this place is creepy. Suddenly, a sound can be heard coming from the right vent. Jeremy checks the monitor to see the bright blue bunny, that's Bonnie, with green eyes and long lashes crawl through the vent. Oh, actually, I think it's Toy Bunny. Bonnie, technically. It takes Jeremy everything, not just scream, and he slips on the Freddy mask just before the animatronic bunny slips into the office. So it's specifically Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Slips like he falls down, like he steps on the Freddy mask and falls down.
No, through the eye holes of the constraining mask, Jeremy can see the lights flicker and the bunny comes into view, a crazed look in its plastic green eyes. Beads of sweat begin to form on his face, running down his neck and soaking up the collar of his night guard uniform. Please go away. Please go away. Please go away. After what seems like forever, the blue bunny leaves the office and the lights stop flickering. Letting out a sigh of relief, Jeremy takes off the Freddy mask, which was starting to smell a little funky. He puts it aside and picks up the flashlight, flashing it at the hallway. The light reflects off a pair of silver eyes that seem to glow in the dark hallway. Fuck! Foxy's here! Why? And then there's a crying face. Jeremy flashes the flashlight at Foxy repeatedly, hoping that it would keep the animatronic away like last time. The withered fox does not move, only staring at Jeremy with those shining silver eyes and gaping jaws. The animatronic eventually disappears and Jeremy's nerves dissipate. I forgot to wind up the music box! Jeremy grabs the monitor and pulls up the camera for prize corner. Thankfully, the puppet isn't standing out of the large gift box. However, the top of its head can be seen peeking out from the box. Jeremy quickly winds up the music box and starts checking the other cameras. None of the other animatronics seem to be close to the office, so that's a relief. Jeremy's heart sinks when the sound of static fills the office. He slowly looks up to see the thing dangling from the ceiling like some sort of mechanical spider, an amalgamation of spare parts and twisted wires. Oh, great. That thing is here. The broken animatronic.
Just kind of like slightly annoyed like that is. Just like, ah, great. That thing is here.
The broken animatronic had always been Jeremy's least favorite, though we couldn't tell if it was because of its extra head that looked like a metallic skull, or the way it crawled along the ceiling, dragging around its limbs and twisted bits. It still is and always will be the stuff of nightmares for Jeremy. As long as I keep an eye on it, as well as the others and the music box and the vents and the cameras, I should be fine. It's just how you play the game. Jeremy sucks in a deep breath, trying to calm his nerves. It helps. Until his eyes wander up to the animatronic hanging over his head. He whimpers with fear, and his stomach feels as though it's being flipped inside out. He checks the cameras and spots one of the animatronics crawling through the vent to his left. It's the chicken! The one with the black eyes and mouth full of teeth! Jeremy puts on the Freddy mask and the lights flicker once more as the animatronic enters the office. It leaves just as quickly as it came, and Jeremy removes the Freddy mask. He's winding up the music box again when he hears that creepy laugh again. He puts down the monitor to see the small human-like animatronic carrying balloons and a sign from before.
What?
Knowing that this particular animatronic does not attack...
From before...
I really hate that animatronic that's broken the most. Like, it's just a sign from 3 paragraphs ago.
That thing is here. Jeremy turns his attention to the hallway, where he can see a face with blue eyes and rosy cheeks staring back at him. He flicks on the flashlight, but no light comes out. Panicking, he starts turning the flashlight on and off, but nothing happens. The human animatronic laughs again, diverting Jeremy's attention to the batteries in its tiny hand. You little... It must have stolen the flashlight batteries when I was winding up the music box! Jeremy starts to tremble, his eyes fixated on the ones in the hallway. Suddenly, he hears something moving through the vents, this time on the right. in the cameras. He sees that it's the Blue Bunny again. Quickly, he slips on the Freddy mask and the animatronic leaves. The next few minutes is a panic of monitoring the cameras, the vents, the brown bear slowly approaching the office. that one's just a bear.
It's just a brown bear.
and a brown bear. Damn it, that brown bear's back.
Wait, from before?
Again.
The brown bear slowly approaching the office. And the two already in the office, one of them hanging over Jeremy's head while the other hoards the flashlight batteries.
Wait, are these two brown bears already in the... Are they brown bears that are already in the room?
According to this sentence, yes, but no.
Okay. Wasn't paying
so,
enough attention.
So the balloon boy with the sign, from earlier...
Right.
He what he does in the game is he shows up and when he's there, your battery for your flashlight runs out faster.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's totally arbitrary. So in this story, he's like literally just taking battery after battery out of his flashlight.
Okay.
The other hoards the flashlight batteries. God, come on, dude, stop. Jeremy had just put down the monitor after seeing a shadow-like bear animatronic in the parts and service room when he notices the golden bear sitting in the office in a crumpled heap. Without a moment to spare, he puts on the Freddy mask, and the strange animatronic disappears. Jeremy begins to remove the Freddy mask. Big mistake. The air is torn by the sound of screeching static as the thing on the ceiling lunges at Jeremy, snapping its mechanical jaws shut around Jeremy's head. He hears something crack and feels warm blood as it oozes out of his head. Though he can't feel it, he can imagine that it must be very painful.
All right.
Crap. Jeremy's vision begins to darken. Objects
Gotta imagine
blurring
my own
and
pain
coming
now.
into focus. Coming into focus and blurring again. With the last of his strength, he glances over at the clock on the desk. Who uses their last bit of strength to glance? Come on. It reads 5 a.m.
A lot of people in movies.
I was so close. The end.
Jeremy spoken.
Happy 6th anniversary to the world of FNAF.
Yay. Is that really only 6 years old? God, it seems like that's been around forever.
6 years and at least 9 games later.
Wow, really? Damn.
I don't know if it's 9. It's a lot.
I saw a box set of very thin books based on it at a bookstore back when you could go to bookstores, and I was like, God damn, I'm really tempted,
Yeah,
because nothing means anything anymore, right? So why not?
Okay, so
All right.
I can take over now. Tracy, you can go back to doing illustrations if you would like.
Okay.
I have more Ultimate Betrayal lined up.
Okay, is this the one where everybody told them
the one with the betrayal and the revenge and the whatnot?
Okay, so and we decided that it's just each installment he's just kicking somebody else's butt.
Yeah, I checked ahead. I read ahead a little bit, and it is actually different. It's not a Pokemon battle this chapter, so.
Okay. Now, I was thinking about this week, and I realized, because apparently I run out of all other thoughts. But I was wondering, it's like, is what's his face, Ash? That's the villain now?
Well,
in this story,
I mean,
he's
kind of an anti-hero.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
He was the one that everyone betrayed him.
Okay. Oh no, did I tell you guys I met him?
I'm left all alone.
Oh really? No, you did not.
Yeah. It was It was horrifying because you have to look at him and with a straight face and not pretend like, holy shit, you're Tommy Wiseau.
Right.
But it was great because he was with this company that we were making a DVD in PAL, so we could release The Room overseas. Let's cover the world with that shit. And we were explaining, well, it needs to do a transfer.
Doing a great service.
And he says, like, you are trying to charge me more money, but it is not going to work. At that point, he wasn't looking at me, so I just crawled under my desk and bit my hand. Like, it's like, don't laugh really loud. Don't laugh really loud. Oh, God, what a weirdo. What a weirdo. Anyway, that's my Tommy Wiseau story.
I've not exactly met Greg Sestero. I peed at a urinal next to Greg Sestero.
Oh, that's got to be troubling. Yeah.
He did not wash his hands.
Don't pee next to your heroes, folks. They'll let you down
All right, so I have to share if we're talking about celebrities in bathrooms very quickly. I met Oliver Stone.
Let's do it.
I met Oliver Stone once. This is way back in college for me. So like around 2000, he did a talk thing. And then afterwards, he signed his book, right? His book, I cannot remember the title, but it's about his time in Vietnam and the war. And I'm standing in line with my friend Lynn, and he gets up and he walks past us, and I apparently, like, I looked worried or something, and he put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna be back." And then he proceeded to walk into the women's bathroom. That's the entire. I mean, I gotta. Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's the end of Act 1. I gotta see what happens in the rest of the movie.
He made a very big point when he was talking that whenever he's shooting a film, he is sober all the time. He doesn't get high while he's working on a film. He also made a point to mention that he's not currently working on a film. So
I bet they got on applause, right? Like,
I'm sure, yeah.
He mentioned drugs.
I mean, it was like Portland in 2000. Of course, everything got.
Oh my God! All right, he's playing to the crowd. Good for him.
Yeah.
You read The Room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Tracy. I'm gonna assume that he's just setting up his illustration thing, since I don't.
He's quickly drawing the beak costume just so he's ready.
Yeah, we're gonna need the beak suit in this one, as always. Okay, I'm just gonna switch it over here. So as you may recall, we last experienced some extremely one-sided battles.
And
what
Brock,
percentage of the power did he use?
Some minuscule amount. Just
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
also
and just wiped him out.
Also, Brock gave Ash tried to give Ash his Pokemon, correct? Didn't that happen? Am I imagining?
Yeah. No, that's right. He went and got them from Professor Oak's lab and offered them to Ash as a peace offering.
Right, but Ash was like, no, you keep them. Like,
yes.
They like you well enough or whatever. So
yeah.
And what's his daughter's name? Sapphire? Is that her?
Yeah, that is one of his daughter's names, Sapphire.
Oh, he has multiple daughters?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, is like Ruby or Black?
I don't think it was Black, but
well, I mean, Sapphire is named after one of the Pokemon games, right?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I'm licking it.
His son, Mystery Dungeon.
Okay, I brought your postcard in to doodle on, and it's the whole card. You get the whole card. Just go wild.
Oh, God.
All right, so this can't be happening. Iris stammered. Everybody's like, "What? How did Max just get totally crushed by a little girl?" Chapter 11. After Dawn's battle,
Ash goes bankrupt.
Yeah, so it ended with like, next up, Dawn will win for sure.
Here you go. Here you go.
Thank you. Wait, am I to make strawberry lemonade with this? Okay. Well, wait. Well, you're just eating them out of your hand. I have to use these as ingredients in some sort of pitcher and stir it about.
When Lillian gives you lemons.
You make strawberry lemonade. All right, what's the pink one?
It's a strawberry.
Wait, the red one's a strawberry. We have 2 varieties of strawberry?
We have 2 types of strawberry.
I'm sorry, 2 types of strawberry. Oh, now you're climbing in the ball pit. She's in there. Hold on. I can add a video component to this, folks. Oh, yeah, the green is all at the bottom. You had me sort them yesterday. Like a serial killer.
Or possibly
no,
mold.
that's-
It could be mold. Nope, there we go.
Is that the happy ending? We got the green ball. Cool. What's mommy doing right now, Lillian?
And
I
Mommy
fixed
is
it.
one of the tiny.
A tiny cube?
Yeah.
A tiny cube of what?
Cube.
Oh, an ice cube. You mean like ice when you eat ice chips? Like you're in the hospital? They don't want you to drink too much? Okay. There we are together. I probably have chocolate on my face because I was looking at her.
Molly, you don't have any chocolate.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Does she know Phineas and Ferb?
No. She knows Disney.
There's a
stuff
new
'cause we have
movie
Disney
out.
Plus, and she just lives there.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I did see, and I was like, I don't even want to get into that.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do want to learn about Phineas and Ferb?
She's more of a Last Day of
Oh.
Ivan Devinovich fan herself. So.
Okay, hold on. Okay, now do gymnastics. Go ahead. Yeah, swing. Yeah, bend your back all weird, and then. Don't worry, we don't share that wall with a neighbor. That would be terrifying on the other side.
This is usually a very small portion of the show.
Oh yeah. This is just, and then I'll face into the. All right, back to what have you.
Back to the beak suit. That's what really matters. All right, chapter 11. After Dawn's battle, which she lost handily 3-0. No kidding. Richard announced that there would be a brief intermission so everyone could get something to eat. Let's all go to the lobby. Ash, Serena, Pikachu, Delphox, and Greninja walked back towards Ash's house to grab their own food. As they were walking past the battlefield behind the Pokemon Center, however, the sound of raised voices caught the raven-haired man's attention. It's like once per chapter we have to call him the raven-haired man.
Raven hair every time.
Come on, Tyler. Don't you think you've done enough training for today? Asked a voice A teenage girl by the sound of it. No way, Tyler replied. I need to make sure my Pokemon are in top shape for my battle. But if you keep training, they'll be too tired to battle later, the girl protested. At least get Nurse Joy to check up on them. Ash exchanged a glance with his friends and started to make his way towards the voices. When he rounded the corner to the back of the Pokemon Center, he saw the McKinley siblings, Evelyn and Tyler, arguing heatedly. Evelyn had her arms folded, and Tyler was glaring daggers at her. Neither of them seemed to have realized that they had company. What's going on here? He asked, interrupting their little sibling spat. Evelyn and Tyler turned to look at him, their eyes widening when they saw who had addressed them. Hey there, Evelyn stammered nervously. Tyler just folded his arms and gazed at them curiously. Were we bothering you at all? No, not at all, Serena reassured the young girl kindly. We just heard arguing and wanted to make sure everything was all right. Evelyn relaxed, the fear in her eyes disappearing. Oh, well, we're fine, she replied. I'm Evelyn McKinley Although. I guess you would probably already know that. And I'm her brother, Tyler, Tyler added unnecessarily. He gestured.
Everybody knows Tyler, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's
it's not necessary. It's not necessary to introduce him at all. If it tries to do it again, just skip it.
He gestured to the Glaceon and Pincer standing off to one side, looking haughty but tired, and added, "And these are my partners, Glaceon and Pincer."
Also unnecessary.
It's nice to meet you two,
Ash said politely.
My name's Ash Ketchum, and these are my partners, Pikachu and Greninja.
Hi there, Pikachu said cheerfully, waving. Hello. Greninja's greeting was much cooler than Pikachu's. Much cooler. Way past cool. Hello. Much cooler than Pikachu's. Something that Evelyn and Tyler didn't miss. Evelyn looked at Greninja curiously, but didn't say anything. Tyler just nodded coldly. I'm Serena Ketchum, Serena introduced herself. And this is my partner, Delphox. Whoa. Hey, you two, the fox Pokemon said, nodding politely. So, what were you two arguing about anyway? Serena asked curiously. Evelyn sighed. Oh, I keep telling this idiot that he needs to rest his Pokemon before his match today, but he insists on training nonstop, she answered, giving her brother an exasperated look. Ash, Pikachu, and Greninja had to hold back chuckles of amusement at the sheepish expression on Tyler's face. Guess this is Ash? No real indication of that.
Well, I'm sure you both must be hungry,
he said reasonably.
So why don't you take a break so you can get something to eat? I'll bet your Pokemon would like to have lunch too.
Tyler hesitated for a brief moment, but nodded. All right, but then it's back to training right after, he insisted. Evelyn rolled her eyes. Something Ash felt like doing himself.
He felt like rolling Evelyn's eyes? That seems...
I could do that for you. Did this kid really think that tiring his Pokemon out mere hours before a league battle would do him any favors? Next to him, Greninja and Delphox were shaking their heads in exasperation. He reminds me of his brother, Chris, the frog ninja Pokemon remarked to Ash, keeping his voice low so that only his trainer heard him. Only his trainer can hear him. Ash is the only one who's trained his aura to understand Pokemon.
That's right.
We've established that. Chris was the last trainer I had before Yuhi insisted on training 24/7.
Sounds like fun,
Ash whispered sarcastically. Greninja...
So like, are the Pokemon like off training in the distance? Because it seems like he's just hanging around with other people here.
Wait, ask that one more time.
So they're saying that like Tyler is just like dragging his Pokemon by training them constantly, but Tyler's just like hanging around here with people talking. Like, does he have like a clearing set aside where he's forcing his Pokemon to train while he's somewhere else?
No, I mean, he's not training them like at this second. Just in general, right. He's pushing them too hard. And they were having an argument about it when Ash walked up.
But it seems like he's not making them train 24/7 like Chris was.
Well,
this is part of that 24/7. I mean, unless the days are longer there or something.
It may have been a slight exaggeration. Hyperbole, if you will.
I don't think that's Greninja's way.
Listen, I know Greninja.
Sounds like
fun.
Hey,
Greninja is a good guy.
Ash whispered sarcastically. Greninja nodded and grimaced, evidently at the memories of all the rigorous training sessions. The group started to walk towards the cafe everyone was having lunch at. Along the way, Evelyn and Tyler resumed their argument, much to the amusement and exasperation of the others. It was clear that the brother-sister duo were polar opposites.
Seriously, you can't keep this up,
Evelyn said scoldingly. I've told you a million times that non-stop training won't help you in the long run. You need to care for your Pokemon properly. I might add, the bond between trainer and Pokemon is far more important than strength.
At least Evelyn seems to know what she's talking about.
Pikachu remarked quietly to Greninja, who nodded. His opinion of the younger McKinley sibling was beginning to rise. Perhaps she wasn't as bad as her brother.
What would you know about it? Tyler snapped. Who cares about stupid bonds? I'm a stocks guy. I'm a future Pokemon champion, not a friendship camp counselor.
Well, from what I've seen, you're neither. Tyler smirked at his sister.
Evelyn, dear sister of mine, someday when you're older and more mature, you'll finally realize that I'm right. On the road to success, there are no...
He broke off as he crashed into the door to the cafe and fell to the ground.
Is he gone? Is he dead?
Ash and Serena immediately ran over to make sure he was all right. To their relief, he was perfectly fine except for a bloody nose. Evelyn, meanwhile, looked from her fallen brother to Ash and back to her brother.
And now, since this is like based on an anime, that means he's turned on?
The bloody nose, yeah.
Yeah, is that how this works? Okay.
That's the implication, I'm sure. She looked back to her brother. So, I guess this is the end of the road, she commented quietly.
It does make it sound like he's dying. I'm still in awe that up there the author put, she said scoldingly. Evelyn said scoldingly. It's like, that is such a long way to walk rather than just saying Evelyn scolded.
Yeah. And
there's a
also
lot of
we can
adverbs I didn't know about. I keep learning in these things. A ton of them. She's like, I didn't know that was an adverb, but okay.
In fan fiction, everything's an adverb if you only believe.
Nouns, everything.
Just ly, that's all you need. Jam it on there and let's roll.
So, Ash Ravenly looked at the group around him.
Raven-hairedly.
So, Tracy, are you drawing, wait, I just read it. Evelyn as scolding her brother?
Yes, while others look on...
Such as Pikachu.
Entertained.
Yeah. All right, so this is the end of the road. Chapter 12. After everyone had eaten their fill, the first round of Silverhood League resumed. The next battle was a matchup between a trainer named Avery and her sister, Leela. Yeah. Instead of going back to watch it, however, Ash went to speak with Greninja and Pikachu in private. Thank God.
Ash, what's going on? What did you need to talk to us about?
Greninja asked.
We need to come up with more revenge schemes,
Ash answered.
I was just going to joke, we need to find new ways to kill people, and it really got there before me. Yeah, I got dinged there.
Keeping his voice low in case anyone was listening in. Where are they? I thought they were in private. Doesn't he own a palace or something?
A mountain.
I picture them under the bleachers.
Yeah.
Because as much fun as it is watching the traitors getting their asses handed to them, it would make our revenge more worthwhile if we could drag it out for a bit.
I agree,
Pikachu said at once.
Ash got his first taste of blood from Tyler Taylor falling over, and now he's like, we need more blood.
That's what my life has been missing.
Count me in. What do you think we should do?
Greninja asked eagerly. Ash thought for a moment.
He wanted to embarrass his ex-friends in a way that would be sure to ruin them for a long time, and somehow he didn't think his usual method of humiliation, that is to say, defeating them in battle, would cut it this time. The novelty would wear off by then. It has already, let me tell you. Since they were already being destroyed in their Silverhood League first-round battles. He would have to think outside the box for this one if he wanted to get 18 more chapters in or whatever.
It's like this kid is writing this in search of like vengeful catharsis that's never gonna come.
Yeah, he really wants to be reading.
Hey, this kid was, airing grievances. People just telling him, "Stop writing fan fiction, you idiot."
Never.
Have we decided it's a kid?
I don't know. I this one I think is much like the ones that are done by kids. I think are way more like obviously like rough. This one isn't that bad. This one,
okay,
grammatically,
that's why I say a gifted 12-year-old.
Yeah, or I'm guessing 18 to 25, but I could be totally wrong.
Either way, we agree that he set out to write the Count of Monte Cristo for Pokemon, and it's not quite coming together. Okay, he would have to think outside the box for this one.
It would be cool if we could do an interview.
The frog ninja Pokemon began slowly,
and used it to expose them as the moronic, backstabbing assholes they are.
Ash grinned as an idea formed in his head.
Greninja, you're brilliant. I've got it now,
he said excitedly.
All right. Before I tell you my plan, though, I'll need you to get Serena, Delphox, Jade, and Sapphire.
That was it, Jade and Sapphire.
They need to be here for this, too.
Greninja nodded and disappeared off to retrieve the others. Ash leaned back and folded his arms, whistling to himself. Pikachu looked at him curiously, but didn't say anything. He knew from experience that Ash wouldn't tell him what his plan was until everyone was present. A few minutes later, Greninja finally returned with Serena, Delphox, and the two Ketchum twins in tow. They exchanged curious glances as Ash led them inside the cafe everyone had been eating at earlier. Okay, so were they just like in a bush outside the cafe?
I'm still going for bleachers.
Okay.
All right, what's this about, Dad?
Jade asked curiously.
Do we need to help you get revenge on the traitors?
Sapphire asked hopefully. Ash chuckled.
Yes, you do,
he replied.
Awesome,
Sapphire cheered.
When can we start?
I need to know the nature in which he replied.
It's left up to interpretation.
I don't have that kind of brain power.
First, I should tell you my plan,
Ash said.
Here it is. Sapphire, you're going to be taking as many embarrassing pictures of the traitors as you can. Greninja can help you with that. He's good at sneaking around. Get a bunch of upskirts if you can.
You serious?
No, that's not in there. It's implied. It's between the lines.
Well, it's super petty already, so.
Jade, you're going to be in charge of writing an embarrassing story about
the traitors. So we're going to find out that Jade has actually written this story that we're reading. That's going to be the twist at the end.
Oh, that's like at the end of, you guys ever see Mommy Dearest?
No.
Just shut all this down and go right now, because it is the best bad movie you'll ever see. But at the end, Mommy Dearest died. She was awful. She'd beat him for having wire hangers, which I don't know why the kid brought wire hangers into the house, because she wants none ever. But at the end of the movie, the kids get shafted in the will, and then the brother is just like, brother played by a very young Xander Berkeley, which is so weird to see that guy young. But he's just like, well, I guess mom had the last laugh, huh? And then the daughter's like, did she? What, Daniel or whatever his name was? Did she? And she looks at the camera, and then the credits roll, and I realize, oh, the daughter wrote the piece of shit book this is based on, so mom doesn't get the last laugh. So that's why I connected that to this. Sorry,
Okay.
what time is it? 6:17. All right. Oh yeah, we're getting close, guys. Brownie's happening. I'm gonna have some deep thoughts.
So is this their way of sneaking in Pokemon Snap, do you think?
Yeah, it's like yeah, that's exactly it.
All right. Okay.
Embarrassing story about the traders to go along with the pictures. He's just making a zine, a hate zine.
Right.
We'll be publishing both in the newspaper.
Of course he controls the media. My God.
Serena.
Serena.
Become Rupert Murdoch. Now,
Serena.
wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Okay. Didn't they really betray him? Like, why do they need to make up stories about them?
They really just told him to give up, and probably the public at large would not find that as reprehensible as Ash himself has.
All right.
So maybe he does need a little more dirt on them.
Because it seems like up to this point, you could see this as proving them all wrong, right? But now he's going into full-on villain mode.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's
All right.
turned a corner
This
here.
seems like evidence in a crime. This whole thing seems like evidence. Like we got to submit this to at least a therapist.
He's going full
To
Walter
break down
White
what's
here.
going on?
Yeah,
It's
all
a
right.
little wild.
Serena, you
Maybe
can help
because
me
I
create a
liked it.
video that will humiliate them even more. And Delphox, you'll be helping me and Serena.
That just made me think of the kid in Christmas shoes.
And if we get more dirt on them, that's even more humiliation.
Oh, by the way, Tracy's visuals, it says the stream has ended, cricket noise.
Okay, maybe he'll
just-
be back. I'll just leave it up.
I thought maybe just, a button had been pushed, but I guess he was
Nope.
actually kicked
Yeah.
off for whatever reason. Okay. All right.
Okay, what about me? Pikachu asked.
You can help whoever you want.
Ash told him.
Or you could try to convince more of their Pokemon to join us.
All right, I'll see what I can do. The little electric mouse agreed.
Great.
Ash said.
So, does everyone understand what their job is?
Got it, Dad.
Jade said, grinning.
Me too. This is going to be awesome.
Sapphire said excitedly.
Should we get started now?
Greninja asked. Ash thought for a moment.
Sure, why not?
He agreed.
Go ahead and get those pictures taken. Jade, you can start writing if you want as well.
Sapphire and Greninja nodded and sped off. Jade followed her sister a bit more slowly. Ash turned back to Serena, Delphox, and Pikachu. So, what should the video be about? Serena asked. I was thinking maybe we could have one video for each traitor.
Good idea.
Ash complimented her.
I have the perfect idea for May, so let's start with her. Then we can figure out what to do about the rest of them.
What do you suppose we do with May's video?
Delphox asked.
We could make her look like a whore.
Pikachu suggested.
Wait,
Or-
what did you just say?
Pikachu suggested we could make her look like a whore.
Okay.
Or-
all right. Just make sure I understood that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
A whore.
what a caboose.
Or we could see if we could find footage of her screwing up in her contests, or we could...
He was cut off by a loud scream cut off as a loud scream rose up inside the stadium, followed by the sound of raucous laughter. The four of them
See,
exchanged...
I don't think a kid would know, like, raucous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Raucous laughter. The four of them exchanged confused glances and ran back towards the arena to see what was going on. When they arrived, Ash saw the cause of the chaos at once. Someone had managed to get a picture of May on the large screen that read, "Whore of Hoenn, we'll show you a good time for $5." Ash, Serena, Pikachu, and Delphox couldn't contain their laughter. They doubled over, clutching their sides and gasping for breath. In the stands, they could see May crying, which only served to make them laugh harder.
I wonder who did that.
Ash chuckled once he was able to breathe properly again.
Well, it can't have been any of our friends, Serena said, frowning. They're busy with their own jobs. So it must have been one of the other competitors.
Well, I'm making whoever did that a part of the royal court,
Ash said, entirely serious.
I just have to find him or her.
How are you going to find out who did it?
Pikachu asked.
I'll think of a way,
Ash replied.
And anyway, weren't you going to talk to the traders' Pokemon? I think some of them should be in the Pokemon Center by now.
Oh, right. I'll be back later, Ash.
Pikachu said as he scampered off. Ash watched him go before turning to the crowd again just in time to see a male spectator hand May what looked to be a small sum of money. She took the money, pocketed it, and screamed at the top of her lungs.
Which seems to imply that it's true. You know, it's like, damn my heritage.
Like, she actually just posted that ad.
So,
author's note.
Yeah.
Author's note. So, who do you think posted the picture? Comment your guess in the reviews.
Okay, I think that's probably enough.
Yeah.
Enough of that one for tonight. I think we're gonna move.
Oh.
There's
There we
Pikachu
go. Right, it's Pikachu in the later seasons.
delivering his classic line.
We could make her look like a whore.
Oh my god.
It's like
that
when I
took me
think of
down.
when I think of Pikachu taglines, it's like number 1 is chill, and then number 2 is we can make it look like a whore.
See, that sounds like the Hollywood Boulevard Pikachu that I know. Who's
Okay,
dirty and begs you for money.
so we've got a few options here.
Okay.
I was looking up fan fiction for M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. So let us know in the chat if you've seen M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, starring Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, and one of the Culkin kids. The Walking Phoenix, yes. Okay, so we've
Oh,
got...
that reminds me. Is anybody riffing
Yep.
Joker?
I'm sure Riff Tracks is doing it, but...
Yeah,
I don't know. That might
I mean,
be
I
that
feel
might
like
be
they
a
would've
little
done
too
it by
adult
now.
for them. Yeah.
I'm looking at that thing. That's a pretty dumb movie that people seem to really like. And I don't know what the point of it is. To say that weirdos are weird and they're gonna kill you no matter what happens.
Well,
Like, okay.
it's really just like the writer director is like, fuck you to Hollywood, because he's like, oh, people don't like it when I do like racist and homophobic jokes anymore. like I made the first half
That
of
guy
my career
sucks.
off of. And
Yeah.
so he was like, hey, DC, will you give me one of your most popular franchise or most popular IPs so that I can make a movie based around my frustration with Hollywood? And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he
a
just took the
weird,
Joker.
yeah.
Yeah.
it's a weird sort of story that I think could have only happened in the past 4 years.
So, getting back to Signs, though.
No one gave me a vitamin.
No one gave you a vitamin today? Well, why are you telling me? Mommy's close to the vitamins. Why don't you tell mommy to give you a vitamin? What are you doing to my lips? What are you doing to my lips? Oh, you let my lips go? My lips are stuck. Okay. Say, Mommy, I need a vitamin. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Back to it.
Signs 2. Warnings.
Mine's harder.
Yeah. Flashes of light, bright like suns. Flash after flash. It was a bombardment of lights. Clearly the many flashes of cameras. Weird, though, how Graham was already used to this. It happened every other day. Reverend Hess, said one batty-looking reporter from CNN, shoving her mic into Graham's face. Her, like, Mike Wazowski into Graham's face. Reverend Hess, is it true that you and your family encountered and escaped extraterrestrials without military help? Yes,
that is the
we
AP's
did, yes.
preferred way to truncate microphone. I hate it.
Oh,
so
is it
much.
really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Have a good night, Autumn. Good luck with class.
It's always sad when autumn gives way to winter.
All right. Yes, we did, miss. I'm trying to find a Mel Gibson voice. Yeah.
It's
It would
crickets,
just
but that's fine.
hope it's just Lionel Pritchard and
Just
the Wolfington
just
brothers
put in like
messing
just put in
around.
Jew every now and then. I think you'll have it.
Yes, we did, miss, replied Graham, annoyed by the constant and similar questions from the press. Now, please, I have a family to attend to. Please excuse me. And he closed his front door, then made sure it was locked. He still heard the roar of the press. Graham lingered off to the living room.
What?
He made his way to the couch where his children, Bo and Morgan, sat, watching Dexter's Laboratory on TV.
Oh, no.
You know what, Dee Dee?
I'm sorry, I did not watch Dexter's Lab growing up.
You know
You're
what,
the
Dee
serial
Dee?
killer and just go.
Said Dexter on the TV, pointing up to an animated tree.
You're stupid.
Yeah, and I... Watching Dexter? Asked Graham to his kids. Bo nodded.
Unnecessarily. I think that we can.
Tracy, did you want to... I guess you are illustrating, so you can't read it as well. All right. Michael, would you mind actually taking the narration on this one?
Well, I can, but I am. My girlfriend is showing up any minute, so I'll be ducking out for a little bit. But I can do it for a little bit if you want.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Where are we? Where are we? Bo nodded.
Yeah.
Can I have a glass of water?
She asked politely.
But make sure it isn't contaminated.
Is she a zombie at this point?
That was the voice that we did for her in the riff. I think it's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Give me a link, Tristan.
Okay.
Graham smiled and nodded.
We'll see what
he
Tracy
left
can
them
do
and
with
went
it.
into the
I'm
kitchen.
also going to post the link in the chat, as I should have been doing for all of these.
He left them and went into the kitchen. As he did, he stared out the window into the ominous corn crops. Memories.
Ominous corn.
Corn mate.
If I remember correctly, Signs was the one where you guys used one riff, one word from me, from my suggestions, which was bears.
Yes.
And it was like you guys sent over a clip of like saying it 18 different ways to try to get. Anyway, okay.
Yep.
Memories. Fear slowly struck Graham's heart as he remembered dark figures on rooftops, strange lights over Mexico City, the green clawed hand and the knife, and Meryl wrestling with one of them. It was eerie, yet vague. It was eerie, yet vague to remember the whole thing, for these events happened 3 months ago. Graham had a bad memory, even at the most weirdest of things.
Even at the most weirdest of things.
Ooh, it's tough to know where to put the emphasis on a sentence like that. But God was on his side, and he was to be always. All right, okay. That got weirdly biblical there. Okay.
Well, I mean, that was the movie.
Well,
He
sure.
came back to his faith at the end.
No, I mean, I get that.
So
It's like
would be all about it.
it's just the phrasing of that sentence, and he was to be always.
Yeah.
It
Merrill
is
Hess
to be.
kissed his girlfriend, Lou, as he pulled his Porsche over to the farmhouse's front. It was a perfect moment, he thought, for this. Hopefully. Maybe.
God, I love you.
Oh, sorry. Were you doing it?
No, that's good. That's good.
I
Whispered
love
Merrill.
you.
Whispered Merrill in her ear, still progressing those in his mind about that one subject. Lou giggled like a love-drunk sixth grader.
Let's.
You're awesome, Meryl. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Merrill smiled at her. He then fumbled in his pocket.
Hey, I got you a little something.
He whispered as he pulled the
Oh, no.
object from his left pocket.
Object, come on.
It was a little black box, and he opened it to reveal,
Oh no.
Oh my God!
muttered Lou, whose eyes became saucers. Really on theme there.
Yeah,
They became
alien
glassy.
saucers, sure.
Right. They became glassy like smooth water.
Okay.
A small diamond ring lay in the box's bowels.
Bow?
Oh,
How big is the box?
And the bowels of the box.
It was simply lovely to see. It was
We
also
love to
lovely.
see it, folks.
It was also lovely being asked the following question. A question that struck hearts like the spears of Native Americans.
oh. What? Spears?
I'm sorry. At least he gives Native Americans, right? Partial credit.
Hey, we are mixing up stereotypes.
That's true.
here,
Yeah,
folks.
I really did worry when I got to spears. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, wow.
Okay, sure.
Will you marry me?
Asked Meryl, holding the ring out to her.
I love you so much. Really, truly. Will you?
Lou Cruz.
Will you, Lou Cruz, marry me? I will be here for you, knowing that God has chosen you to be with me forever till I die.
Lou's eyes flooded with tears. She cupped her mouth with her hands, then looked like she's collecting the tears. Then looked at Meryl.
Delicious tears. Stop crying.
I didn't hit you. I didn't hit you. Stop crying. Whispered Meryl, rubbing her wet cheek with a finger.
You're gonna make me cry too.
Lou giggled again, hoarsely.
You make me laugh. I can't answer if you do that.
There was a short silence, punctuated only by Lou's dramatic breathing. It would be weird if there was a drum roll, thought Meryl comically. Oh, no,
Yes, Yes, Meryl.
Murmured Lou, the answer finally entering Meryl's ear.
After
Which took
wandering
him-
around the
Sure.
bowels of his box.
Oh.
Which took him a moment to realize. Her
His
fingers
ear?
embracing Meryl. He got
Oh
distracted.
God, there's
by
something in my ear.
Her fingers embracing Meryl's hand.
Yes,
Just her
I'll
fingers.
marry you.
Meryl's eyes became wet. He looked down at his jeans, cocking.
God.
He
Come
looked
on.
down at his jeans, cocking his head to the side like a dog.
This is my RCA Victor impression.
Wow.
That was all he could say. His gaze reverted to Lou, who was still crying.
That's awesome.
And they embraced again, along with a strong, passionate kiss. It showed their love for each other. It showed how much they cared. It showed how good a kisser Meryl really was.
Oh,
Okay.
Can you imagine if you almost kissed her and she threw up? Oh my.
It's a
So
miracle.
your decision to choose Signs 2 was a good decision.
this is a slam dunk.
All right, I'll be Graham since this
Okay,
is
yeah.
a Graham Meryl conversation.
Yeah.
So?
Asked Graham later. Is this Joaquin Phoenix? Is that who Graham is?
No, that's
No,
Mel
Graham
Gibson.
is Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Meryl
Oh,
is
so
Joaquin Phoenix.
Meryl just okay. I thought that whole last scene was with Mel Gibson. No, okay. Joaquin Phoenix. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Asked Graham later that evening after the kids went to bed.
How did it go?
She said yes.
Said Meryl, smiling as they made their way to the sofa.
Let's go to the sofa now.
Graham smiled, then embraced his younger brother.
That's great, Meryl.
He said as Meryl's eyes flooded with small, transparent balloons.
What?
God has blessed you with a wonderful, beautiful woman. You should be very thankful.
And many small transparent balloons. That's great.
That is a phrase I've never heard before to describe an eye. So
99 small,
What?
transparent balloons.
Flooding into my eyes.
I am.
Whispered Meryl as they broke apart. A
Ouch.
single.
Did they have a
single
passionate kiss as well?
I think so. A single tear left his right eye.
Floated up to the ceiling.
I really am, Graham.
Graham bobbed his head up and down in approval.
And truly, you are
That's
blessed.
actually really accurate to the way Mel Gibson acts in that
Then-
movie.
Then truly, you are blessed.
He said.
I'm so proud of you, Meryl.
Meryl smiled.
You've become so strong, Fox.
Father?
How was it when you married Colleen?
Asked Meryl. Graham sighed. He remembered their first night. Oh God, is it? They married here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and it was snowing.
I remember us being at the church. I was standing there at the altar in my tux. I was with a priest, of course. I remember his name, John, and I remember her.
I remember it because it was so unique.
Even
He
though my
visualized-
memory is hazy, even at the weirdest of things.
He visualized Colleen in her white dress with a bundle of white poppies in her hands. She stared into his eyes. He stared right back and smiled. She mimicked him.
He stares right back. I tried not to move because I thought her visual acuity was based on movement like T-Rex.
And then he put his right hand up. She put her left hand up.
He noticed that he looked very similar to his bride-to-be.
I think this
He-
is your line. Okay.
I remember her dress. It was so beautiful, made by her mother. And then she made it to the altar. Then the priest recited what all
Was
marriages
there
are
an
like.
obstacle course?
She made it.
She came in second. Then the priest recited what all marriages are like. And
Okay,
know.
people, you know what's gonna happen here.
you know what it's like, okay? So I'm going to go through it as fast as I can. And then we kissed. To tell you the truth, that was the first kiss we ever shared.
Meryl smiled, then laughed quietly.
Really?
Graham nodded, then laughed too.
After the wedding, there was a party at the pub, but we didn't go. We left as quickly as we could, and we left to my place. I remember her throwing a snowball at the back of my head. God, I remember it well.
I just wanted to fuck, and she's throwing fucking snowball. And Graham visualized the snowball coming at him and exploding in his face.
It was in the back of his head. He didn't remember it well at all.
The bowels of his head. Come on.
He spit out the frozen water and chuckled. Memories.
You did what?
He chuckled. It's like halfway between a chuckle and being cuckolded.
No, wait. Graham visualized the snowball and then he actually spit out ice.
Right, yeah. He visualizes.
He
really
manifested
hardcore.
it in his.
Yeah. Like it was like water stigmata.
Well, she hit him in the back of the head so hard that it's just now like coming out of his mouth. And I threw one back. And I threw one back. It was a snowball fight in the middle of the street. Then we made it to my house. We sat on my couch, her head on my chest, and we talked for the longest time.
What did you talk about?
Graham smiled again.
I remember her asking me if I loved her more than anything else, and I said yes. And she asked me something else.
What did she ask?
Graham looked at Meryl.
Do you believe in signs or miracles?
Meryl's lips curled upwards.
And what did you say?
I apologize for this.
No, it's perfect, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, you're evoking
Okay.
his face at least in that movie.
I thought that was you talking with your lips curled upwards, which I thought were curling.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm pretty fast.
Miracle.
I'm pretty strong.
Go on.
Yeah. But this guy. Miracles. So, Meryl, what are you?
I'm a miracleist.
Said Meryl with a grin.
I don't get. They're recreating
They've
kind of
done this.
a
They
scene
did this in
from
the
the
movie.
movie. Why would you put that in your sequel?
This is the opening scene, kind of to just remind. I mean, this is a couple of scenes after the opening, I guess. This is just kind of to remind everybody who the characters are. You know, that's what we're doing here, I guess.
There are people that
I'm a
forget
miracle
the
man.
weirdest things and just tend to repeat them.
Graham chuckled. Then he heard the sound of something.
I heard a sound. I turned around to find the thing that made the sound.
And footsteps. There we go. That fit. He looked at the doorway. Bo was standing there, her hands locked together.
What's wrong, sweetie?
He asked, standing up and walking towards her.
I'm thirsty.
She said in a quiet voice.
Can you give me a glass of water?
Graham nodded. I can do that. He went to the kitchen, Bo at his heels. As he turned the faucet on and got a glass out, Bo said,
Daddy?
Oh,
This,
Yes,
it's all
sweetie.
you.
There was something standing outside.
Graham's heart did a somersault.
into his bowels.
He quickly spun around and looked at his daughter.
I saw it. standing outside. It looked at me, and it climbed the house, and I think it's in Morgan's room.
All right, this one's moving pretty fast. I got to give it credit for that. Graham picked up his daughter and went to the
Vine.
That made me think of like the princess. I saw the
Graham picked up his daughter and went to the living room. He quickly raced to the living room.
Yeah.
Meryl looked at him.
Okay. What happened?
Bo just said she saw something outside.
Meryl jumped out of where he was sitting into the next scene.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Yes, that's what she said.
Then it hit him. Morgan.
I think it's in Morgan's room, Daddy. Lace, and I had bacon.
Oh dear God!
Whispered Graham. He handed Bo to Meryl.
Morgan's upstairs.
And he ran towards the stairs without another word. He flipped on the hallway lights and raced to his son's room. Graham ripped the door open and gasped. It was right there by the broken window, and in its hands was...
Morgan!
Graham's head shot from the sofa. He looked around. Meryl was sitting next to him watching CSI Miami on TV. Graham looked at the door. Bo wasn't there.
Sorry.
Said Meryl, averting his attention to Graham.
You fell asleep after I said that I believe in miracles. That much of the...
So wait, I assumed that whole conversation was a dream, but they actually
No, it's
got
just
to that
he just
point.
fell asleep after that one.
Yeah, he was basically like...
I'm miraculous.
Thinking back to my
All right.
wedding night. You know, she said something about sign. My dead wife is just so fucking boring, man. Graham sighed as he smoothed out his hair. He leaned his head back.
What happened?
Asked Meryl.
Dream.
Replied Graham softly.
About?
The visitors.
Said Graham simply. Meryl sighed.
Maybe the incident is still logged in your brain.
Gonna do a clean check disc. Or whatever. Graham looked at Meryl.
Maybe.
And he looked at the ceiling dreamily. Fear still pounded at his heart. He thanked God it wasn't real. He couldn't deal with it again. Not again.
Ooh, Signs 2. Better than the first? Or a little sequelitis on that one, maybe?
That was delightful.
Published June 14, 2009. I don't think we're going to get any more of this story, unfortunately.
Oh, was that the only chapter?
Yeah.
Damn.
Age? Okay. Author has written 2 stories for Signs and Avatar. Avatar might be good.
Avatar.
Age
Avatar.
14.
Is it Avatar like the guy who did Titanic or Avatar
Yes.
Last Airbender?
Oh, it's the former?
Was that?
It's
yeah, I know
Avatar,
it's
the 3D feature
Navi
film.
and all the blue people. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into that.
So
That's
this
bullshit.
person, this author is 14 years old, and the first thing
Or was in 2009.
he wanted to do on his profile is quote Joker from The Dark Knight, of course. I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. And then also
This is Joker if he was portrayed by
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti. Yes.
I'm not a monster.
Not a
I'm just
monster.
ahead of the curve. Then he quotes Jack Sparrow as well in the next line. So that's what we're dealing with.
Oh man.
I mean, that's, you know, being a 14-year-old in 2009. That's, I mean, like,
I get, yeah, that's what you got. And if you don't have like a cool older person to show you like regular cool stuff, you just have to settle for, you know, Hollywood.
I mean, that's not,
mainstream.
like, I'm not gonna judge there.
No, again, like Jack Sparrow, it's very much a 14-year-old thing to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And that's part of the joy.
Jack Sparrow is
That's part of the charm.
What, 3 or 4 movies?
Hold on, he joined in 2007.
Okay.
So they were probably on what, like the third one?
Yeah, definitely the third one, I think, was out in 2007. And that one was not good. And
Summary of me. Well, you can call me the kind of guy who's getting more popular.
I mean that's kind of depressing because it means like, because I started at 0, let me tell you.
What? I mean, aren't we all kind of getting more popular as we meet new people? Just like,
well, speak for yourself. I mean, you're likable, but some of us.
There's a point where all your friends start to die, you know? I mean...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or you could be like M. Night Shyamalan, for example.
That's true.
All right, but I gotta go.
Yeah, we're at 8 o'clock, so...
All right.
Oh,
yeah, I think we're wrapping it up for tonight.
Well, this was a fun one.